Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abasi.
I see you look different.
I do, don't I?
Yes, your hairstyle. Ojinika with the hairstyle. Is that something we should know? Are you going to Dubai to go and catwalk?
Yes.
Fashion show.
That's exactly what's happening.
So
it's a Rise Fashion Week, and it's happening, and we're all excited. We're leaving this week, and it's going to take place December 3rd.
Will you be on the runway?
Keep your fingers crossed.
When you see OG with long hair,
yes.
This is supermodel mode activated.
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Yes. Well, good morning to Drabiola.
I'm surprised you noticed, and I'm proud of you, Dr. Abati.
Okay, I get the memo. Yes. I'll be more attentive.
Well, the thing is, I have a specific look. So when I change my look, then it's like too obvious. So yeah, that's usually what
You'll always find an excuse for Dr. Abati. She's so sweet.
Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Good. You're so quiet this morning.
Looking excellent.
Thank you so much.
So it's the Air Week, first Adesua, and now Ojinika.
Yeah.
So who is next?
Not me. To disappoint.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter on Monday, stepped down as CEO of the social media platform. Twitter's current chief technology officer, Parag Agrawal, took over his position while Dorsey will remain on the board until his term expires in 2022. In Honduras, Xiomara Castro, the country's former First Lady, on Monday took a commanding lead in the country's presidential election over the ruling party candidate, Nasri Asfoura, setting the stage for her to become the country's first female president. Castro, whose husband, Manuel Zelaya, was deposed from the presidency in a coup in 2009, if elected president, will break 12 years of PN rule and 4 decades of hegemony shared with the Liberal Party. In Barbados, Britain's Queen Elizabeth has been removed as head of state, and the Eastern Caribbean island has become a republic. Over the weekend, Charles, the Prince of Wales, attended the inauguration of President-elect Sandra Mason, who replaced the Queen, signaling a move by the Republic to shed the final vestiges of colonial system that once spanned the globe. Under sports, 34-year-old Lionel Messi on Monday won the Ballon d'Or for a record 7th time, defeating Robert Lewandowski, who finished second place and received the Striker of the Year award during the ceremony, which took place at the Châtelet Theatre in Paris. Finally, under entertainment, Afrobeats musicians Wizkid and Tems snagged the Best Collaboration Award at the 2021 Soul Train Awards ceremony for their hit single, Essence. While Wizkid's record-breaking Made in Lagos concert at the London O2 Arena marked the first performance for R&B superstar Chris Brown, who was banned from entering the country in 2010 for assaulting his then-girlfriend, Rihanna. Wizkid brought out the R&B singer to perform a rendition of Go Crazy, his 2020 collaboration with Young Thug.
Oh, baby, I can put you on a you know that a nigga like niggas business. I got what you need. A freak little baby. London.
Completely amazing. That's Wizkid's concert. I mean, look at that crowd. I am so proud of the young man. Really, congratulations to him over, with the Soul Train Awards and all of that as well. Well, let's begin what's trending. The Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, announced on live television on Monday that microblogging platform Twitter has agreed to all of the federal government's condition for its suspension in Nigeria to be lifted. Keyamo, who is a member of the committee set up to engage Twitter over its suspension, said the reason the president took the step to suspend Twitter was to recalibrate Nigeria's relationship with the microblogging site and not to drive them away from the country. Well, the federal government suspended Twitter in Nigeria in June, just days after a tweet by the president on the civil war was deleted by the microblogging site. The tweet had threatened to treat members of the indigenous people of Biafra in a language they understand. I mean, well, what can I do? Applaud, right? I mean, what can I say at this point? Thank God that they've met all the conditions. Hopefully, the ban will be, no, not the ban, the suspension will be lifted and we can tweet at will. Rufai.
So they've met all the conditions. What were the conditions? They were quite very nebulous to me.
Yeah, Keyamo did not state them.
Twitter was going to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, would all of this, account for or pay back the losses by young people, small businesses that were benefiting from Twitter? So what is this really in all of this? Yeah, recalibrating Twitter? Why did he have to take the tweet of the president to be deleted for you to recalibrate the relationship? And in all of this, will the Twitter headquarters from Ghana come to Nigeria? I mean, so what is really in all of this for us? I mean, because I don't get this narrative of they've met all the conditions. We keep hearing this narrative. I mean, I remember the last time they said remaining just 2 conditions. Now 3, now they've met all the conditions. And then what happens next? And then we go back to the president's speech, was going to be, the suspension was going to be lifted with conditionality. So I don't get all of this. I mean, it's quite very nebulous to me.
Really?
I'm having a field day. Even they should continue.
You always say that.
You see, the truth is, if something that gives a lot of opportunities to young people to be able to trade their product was taken away from them, and you think, voila, you just wave a magic wand and it comes back at your own beck and call, it doesn't work that way. I mean, we're all seeing the numbers. So they've met all the conditions. Am I going to see taxes from Twitter as a line item very soon in the revenue collection of this country?
I guess that's the idea.
I mean, I hate when people pee on my back and they tell me it's raining.
Well, all right. Tundu, your analysis of this topic.
Well, I'm sure I have to consult my notes here. Parag Agrawal, I haven't quite memorized the name of the newly appointed CEO replacing Jack Dorsey. I'm sure he'll iron out all the fine print here. But I feel like, yes, the suspension of Twitter was a huge blow to those who use it for business and even recreation. Some people really find a lot of, amusement, distraction in Twitter. And that was really unfair to those people. But it's been a while, and you can trust Nigerians with our sort of resilience that we all have in this country. People have found ways around, under, above any suspension, and they're carrying on their business, either using VPNs or on other social media platforms. So this is the problem. When you try and sort of frustrate people and you force them to find other methods, it's really quite unhealthy, especially in a democracy. So I'm glad that this has been announced, that Twitter has met their conditions. Twitter is having to deal with the political ramifications of the digital space that they created. Jack Dorsey's sort of wild, wild west, like 10 years ago, no longer exists. Now governments all over the world are looking at Twitter and asking questions. India, for example, has been quite strict on Twitter. They didn't go as far as Nigeria did. Nobody else did, frankly. But India has been quite strict. And I want to see how it will evolve going forward in this new post-Jack Dorsey era. But we must admit, Twitter has its uses, yes, but it can also be such a toxic little echo chamber, can't it? And it has been weaponized, not least of all by people like QAnon, spreading all kinds of misinformation that have gotten people killed in their thousands. We cannot begin to quantify the kind of damage that has been done. So do they need to be corralled a little bit? Yes, they do. Do they need to have certain breaks? Do they need to restrict certain speech? Because you cannot have that argument, which I found quite disingenuous, that Twitter used to use, oh, we're just a platform, we're not the publisher. But you must take responsibility for what people do in your space, and that's really the bottom line.
I like that. Dr. Abati.
Well, we've been on this Twitter thing since June, when the Nigerian government decided to suspend Twitter. And questions were raised about the implications for small and medium-scale enterprises that depend on that microblogging platform. for interactions for customers. Issues were raised about the right of the individual for freedom of expression, right to free speech. Questions were raised also about the kind of psychological impact that this could possibly have on persons who tend to depend on those microblogging sites, either for business or for social interaction. Now the question, now that we have received a hint, I call it a hint, that Twitter has met all the conditions. Who is going to calculate the cost and who is going to be truthful about that particular cause? Considering the fact that the alternative that the government of Nigeria tried to offer, the kukuku, didn't quite catch on with Nigerians. And you had many young Nigerians resorting to the use of VPN. I think we should perhaps note the fact that the initial threat by government that anybody who uses Twitter by any means may be prosecuted or may have questions to answer. I think nobody, was deluded enough to think that that would be enforceable. Now, I said it's a hint because I'm not too sure that Festus Keyamo, Minister of State for Labor and Employment, was speaking in an official capacity. So if Twitter is going to be, if the suspension on Twitter is going to be lifted, I think that, there will be need for a more formal announcement rather than something, dropped as a hint or said in passing by a federal minister for whom is not even a primary
member of the committee.
Yes, but who has mandated him to make a formal announcement. So I think that to show seriousness, what will be required will be a formal announcement by the appropriate agency of government. Because, again, the president lifted the weight of the matter when in October he referred to it that he had given approval, provided Twitter meets those conditions. So we have Festus Keyamo's word for it, but what is the National Communications Commission, the NCC, which is perhaps the appropriate body, what is it saying? What is the Ministry of Information saying? Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, has given many briefings on this particular subject matter. So what Festus Keyamo has done is to raise expectations. And we hope that we will not wait for many more months, only to be reminded that, Festus Keyamo was, divulging information that nobody had asked him to divulge, or that perhaps he didn't have the correct information. Because part of the concern in Nigeria is people occupying official positions, important positions, and using the position to mislead people. I hope that that will not be the case in this particular instance, and that those conditions that have been met will also be made public, because there are issues of interest. As Twitter opened an office, is Twitter now registered with the tax authorities in Nigeria? Did Twitter give an undertaking that it will never delete the tweet of any important Nigerian, whether it's the Minister of Information or it is, some other high-ranking officials of state? Those details will be important in the spirit of transparency and accountability.
Twitter. They need to let us know. Please do not delete anyone.
Don't you dare.
We'll take another story. The governor of Cross River State, Professor Ben Ayade, on Monday suspended the 2021 annual Calabar Carnival due to the outbreak of the new coronavirus variant, Omicron. Although no trace of the new variant has been detected in Nigeria, the governor, in a unanimous decision with the state's executive council members and stakeholders of the carnival, suspended the annual festival based on advice by health experts that the new variant kills faster than other variants. The governor also cited insecurity as another reason for the suspension. I think Ben Ayade is always that proactive governor. I actually did find it hilarious, but yes, he is. Remember that he did that. He was the first person to come up with that no mask, no movement thing when the...
How could we forget?
How can you forget that? Yes.
But it was the governor that didn't accept he had COVID in the state for so many months. Let's not forget that.
Well,
He wasn't, and he also had some quite controversial views on the vaccine, if I do recall.
Yes, he did.
And also, this is sort of in keeping with that, because there has been no advice that the Omicron variant kills faster.
This is what
Where did they get that?
Spreads faster.
Yes, that is more transmissible. But so far, the symptoms are mild to moderate, or so we've been told so far. But there's been no talk about how it kills faster, no. But I do think that they're on the right path this time, because Lagos State also had to cancel their Greater Lagos Festival, which was really billed and there was a lot of hype around it, and still they cancelled it because public health is the priority. So I think this is a good step in the right direction, but can we all just stick to the science and not add any, embellishments, please?
Well, I think what we have seen is that countries, governments are taking precautions, which was a point that was well made by Sajid Javid, that the UK government just wanted to be cautious. And we've seen other countries, more than 46 other countries, taking such precautions. And it's good to see that in Nigeria, at least in Cross River State and also in Lagos State before Cross River, that of Lagos State was before Omicron. Was declared as a variant of concern. The Lagos State government had just taken that step, knowing that during the festive period, there will be a lot of super spreader events. But in the case of Cross River, this decision has been taken because of Omicron. And I think it's good to err on the side of caution. The original plan by the Cross River State government was to have that carnival in the UJS stadium, rather than having an open parade across the streets. That was the case in the past, but now they've suspended it. I think it's a wise decision in the light of public health and safety considerations. And it's a good thing that the stakeholders, the various stakeholders, are supporting the government in this regard. However, let us note that the Calabar Carnival has become a major item on Nigeria's cultural calendar, with many other states supporting it. It's also become very big business. It's also become, a platform for interaction. And it is one of those things that indicate continuity. I think it was started by Governor Donald Duke in his time. And then it became, big. Even every year, Donald Duke continues, he and his wife continue to participate in the carnival, and you'll be surprised. It's a major tourism event, people traveling even from outside Nigeria to be part of that event. And the more reason why it is good that this precaution has been taken. Well, a major contribution by the Cross River State government and people, to the cultural fiesta, to cultural ambience in Nigeria. But maybe there will be better days ahead when there will be no Omicron or Delta variant and maybe no coronavirus pandemic, and it will be time to dance and celebrate again on the streets of Calabar.
Omicron has come to take our joy away quickly. Like, take my fire.
Like Dr. Abati said, there'll be better days ahead, so let's just all take precautions. A very consoling tune for me this moment, because when you look at how COVID has taken our lives and the weight on all of us and the people we've lost, is the song of Veroline, Dame Veroline of blessed memories, that says we'll meet again. We'll all meet again. We'll all have many more carnivals after this. It's quite sad this is happening at this point in time, but let's take precaution. And I'm also happy at the repentance, really. I'm happy that a Benayade, at a point that we constantly berated for his stance on COVID, being, professor in the science, what's called faculty, now has repented now, and he's championing this, and he's saying to the world that no, we're not having this carnival. Let's not forget, this was the same person that didn't allow NCDC officials coming for quite a while. But I'm happy. All right. It just shows that the fight against COVID can turn people around, and everybody can be on the same page, and we can all fight and win this together. So kudos to Governor Benayade. He's done good for himself here.
All right, we'll take our final story in Uganda, where a video of a man hawking grasshoppers to passengers inside a Uganda Airlines flight has gone viral. The video pointed the country's Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba, to order the immediate suspension of the airline's cabin crew who were on duty while the man hawked the grasshoppers. Well, let's take a look at the video before we come back for a quick discussion.
Leno baga na nseni. Leno kasuro musoro kwa Uganda Airline. Kuna mtu wangu. Diga ne kale kwa. Akuide kujo ne. Ela sasa.
naye kale temuzitundidemu kyagenda kuddamu
I feel like I've seen it all. This is one thing I've never ever experienced in my life. I mean, how dare the man go in the plane? And the audacity for me was that he was actually standing and sharing the grasshoppers.
I'm just baffled. Did he have a boarding pass? Because if he didn't, if he wasn't actually flying with them, this is like a major security breach. How did he get onto the aircraft? But customer is always king. I like the way they've managed to pivot from it and decided to add it to the menu.
Yes.
Because they've seen that there's a demand, and that's creative thinking. Nigeria Air, I hope you're taking notes.
Yes.
Customer is king.
Well, this incident occurred on November 26 on UR flight 446 from Entebbe to Dubai. This gentleman, Paul Mubiru, decided to do quick business as passengers were settling down. And he started selling grasshoppers. They call it in Senene in that country. And, you know, he got customers and all of that. But he has since apologized because he was later arrested by the police. And he said he was doing it for comedy and all of that. Now, Uganda Air has also, you know, issued a statement saying that this was destructive behavior and that they do not encourage on their flights anybody, you know, trying to do quick business. But that, however, they've also learned from it, which is that grasshopper has been very scarce in Uganda lately. And I understand it's a special delicacy in that country. So Uganda Airline has now said that they will add grasshopper to the in-flight menu. So for people who like to eat grasshopper as snacks, you know, that has become part of the menu in Uganda Airlines. But, you know, I mean, the funny part of it, you know, this mulwe, this thing we call mulwe, this mami wagons we used to have in Lagos. If you bother the mulwe, as it is known, you could buy anything inside the mulwe. And I thought a whole aircraft, a whole flight, international flight, becoming a version.
Are you allowed to carry that much grasshopper in your hand luggage?
I don't understand it.
I mean, the flight is something else, but, you know, obviously that makes a very good delicacy in Uganda. You know, they have it.
Grasshopper.
They have it with this thing made of plantain called matuke, and they have groundnut soup, and they put some grasshopper.
Is it crunchy?
Yes,
I bet
crunchy.
it is.
You know, I've eaten edible one. You guys could try this out. Popo gari and edible one.
No.
You guys, I mean, people from the Niger Delta will love this.
Well, all right.
Popo gari and edible one. It's so lovely.
You sounded like you like to taste the grasshopper one of these days.
You should.
I'll get
you some popo gari.
I'm really an adventurous when it comes to food.
Well, all right. Thank you all for your
Thank you very much, Ojineka.
That's all I have.
Maybe on your way to Dubai, they will serve grasshopper.
Let me know if they do.
You guys let me sign out.